and daunting cultural challenges in our new homeland. So thank you, Tamara.
Well, tonight I would like to tell you a short version of my life story and the special role that Dr. Chaim Peri played in it. I was born in Iran just before the Islamic Revolution. My mother was only 17 years old when she gave birth to me. And my father was 3 times as her age, so you guys do the math. My mother left me when I was 1 year old, and my father was unstable, abusive, and incapable of taking care of me. Most of our family had already immigrated to the United States. So I basically grew up alone, experiencing awful abuse behavior of my father and other people also. While in elementary school, I was adopted by my uncle in the US, where I lived for a few years. But unfortunately, that didn't work out. And I had to go back to Iran to my father. After experiencing the freedom life of America, life in Iran was scary and devastating for me. I decided that no matter what, I would not stay and live with my father. Somehow, I found myself heading to the land of milk and honey, my home, Israel. My dangerous journey to Israel, traveling cross borders via Turkey, was filled with sorts of difficulties, and all I could think about, that this would be over soon, and I would be free. Shortly after arriving in Israel, a journalist wrote a story about me and my mission of survival in a newspaper. This reached Chaim Peri's attention, and he decided immediately to take me in to live at Yemin Orde. And this was the turning point of my life. When I arrived in Yemin Orde, I was only 14 years old. I had already experienced so many things in my life, but this was a real culture shock for me. I only speak Persian and English, and definitely no Hebrew. There were many young immigrants from different countries, including Russia, Ethiopia, Brazil, Colombia, Italy, Iran, and as well as children from Israel. I shared a room with 4 other girls, and we were each from different places in the world. As a kid, I was rebellious and pretty wild, and had difficulty with rules and routines. I was quite a handful and a little troublemaker. But at the end of the day, I was a sad little girl with no hope and no identity. Even though I was so difficult, Chaim always accepted me. Never gave up on me. He never punished me for the foolish things that I did, because Chaim does not believe in punishment. Excuse me. That's not just his way. Instead, he always told me how good I was, how smart I was, how beautiful I was. He always cared. He always hugged. He always gave me hope. And he always reminded me to smile. And that was something very new for me. He always encouraged and empowered me. He even sent private tutors to my room to make up for all the classes that I missed. I especially remember one Friday when Chaim was riding on his bike in the village to see how we were doing. He saw me with a really sad face, and he said, "What's going on? What's wrong with you?" And I told him, "I'm a loser. I'm a nobody. No one wants me." Chaim looked me straight in the eye and said, "Don't say that. We want you here." He said, excuse me. He said, "One day you will grow up and you will become somebody, someone very important." He said, "I believe in you." and you will be a change maker. I will never forget that moment. In my heart, I thought, what does he know? Well, as the years went by, those words made a big difference for me. Over the years, I realized that someone in this world really believed in me and cared about me, no matter what. This is an important feeling for a child to know that she won't be abandoned and she will always be loved and cared for. The village is a beautiful place and always well cared for. The staff always tried to give us the feeling of a big family and really cared for us. Shabbat was the best. Shabbat was always very special. We would dress up, go to the synagogue, and afterwards we would have a weekly Torah portion, which was told by Chaim in the mitzvah. After, we would have a blast of singing before dinner. I even had my own solo songs, because Chaim always found a way to make me, the lost child, the abandoned child, feel special. After graduating, I joined the army as a lone soldier. The village helped me with everything, including renting a place to live, gathering all the things I needed, from blankets and sheets to pots and pans. In the IDF, I served at the Combat Engineering Unit in Golan Heights. It was great, yet challenging experience, and I met many friends who became my family there. After finished serving the IDF, I stepped out into the real world. Well, the thing is, after everything that I've been through, I had two choices to make. I could fall or I could rise. Be a nobody or become the somebody who Chaim always knew that I would become. I made the choice to become that somebody. And in order to do that, I had to complete high school education so I could go through university. I continued completing my BA in criminology, psychology, and sociology in one of the best universities in Israel, Bar Ilan. I decided to work as a law enforcer and bring justice to this world. For the past 10 years, I've been working as a police investigator and interrogator in many different crime units. I believe that I am making a big difference, and this is so important to me. I met my husband after the army, and he decided to join me in my journey. I think he deserves a big credit for this. We got married and began our own beautiful family. And now I am the proud mother of 3 beautiful children, and I become the mother that I never had. In my life and my work, I've been influenced by Chaim in many different ways. I have learned to humble and be modest and live with integrity. He always admired and encouraged my honesty. He taught me to respect myself and to respect others. And he always reminded me to smile. And for this, I owe you, Chaim. And I thank you for giving me a home, sharing in our celebrations, and always being a part of my life. And I love you for that. Thank you, Shuli, Chaim's wife, and his family for always sharing him with us. And thank you to everyone who made this journey to New York to be possible. I also want to thank a very, very special person to me, and that's Ms. Tali Ritz. And thank you so much for everything you've done for me. And thank you all for being here.
Tamara, thank you so much for sharing your incredible, inspiring story. Kim and I support Friends of Yemin Orde because of the hundreds of stories out there that are similar to Tamara's. We want to make sure all of the youth who find themselves at Yemin Orde have the same level of care that Yemin Orde provides to all, including ongoing emotional and financial support after they graduate. In Israel, 400,000 children, 1 out of every 7, are considered at risk. We want to ensure that educators working with at-risk youth throughout Israel will have the opportunity to be trained in the Village Way methodology so we can help as many children as possible achieve their potential and realize their dreams. In the past 12 years, we have impacted over 14,200 youth and 1,775 educators in 36 villages and high schools throughout Israel, including 4 Israeli Arab high schools. With your help, we will be able to reach more. Our plan is to grow to 59 partner schools and villages by 2021 to reach and save 25,000 children. We want to thank everyone in the room for their support. A special thanks to all of our sponsors who have covered all of our expenses. Every additional gift